Hello. This is a video for Starshine, and I'm so sorry to have to blow the whistle on you, but I think it is absolutely necessary for your own healing process. I'm sorry, we're all on the internet, and we have different brains, and we have different things to contribute to the world, and what I have to contribute to this world is truth. Okay, so I will not stand for untruth. It's not going to happen. Everyone has the right to bring to the table their information, their thoughts, and their opinions, also their political views, and I will do the same. And I bring healing and love and truth, and part of that is blowing the whistle on someone. So I'm sorry, that's what I have to do. Zane. My starshine, my shining star. Okay, that is what you are, and you are something else, man. You are the squeaky wheel in the machine that needs some greasing and some healing, yeah. And I see that, so, and other people see it too, so don't think that you can get away with hiding from the public what you're doing, and with all the troll and sock accounts, and with all those different personas, and with your self-image of the tough guy and the unbreakable alpha male, the winner, the chat room king, the ice king, always be on top of the world, and nobody can do that. Okay, we can't do this, eventually we have meltdowns, and many people have meltdowns. I have meltdowns, and it is okay, to have meltdowns of Noble. It's not something to be ashamed about. This is part of your life's journey. This is your healing process, and I'm not even gonna do a lot of psychoanalytical evaluation here, or do labeling of clinical labels and personality disorders. I'm just guessing on all of these things. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not even I don't have any legal authority, although I have the absolute total knowledge on all of this. But you know how the legal system is, and so I have to make this disclaimer. So this is just from friend to friend, and that's also how I'm going to be handling my therapy help center, is from friend to friend. We are helping each other, and we are helping each other, and you are helping me, believe it or not. You are helping me tremendously. You've been helping me for over a year, and you don't even realize this at all, so how this has been helping me, these conversations and the emotions that will come up, and it is very intense. For me it is, and I see it is for you as well. So you are very much affected by these conversations, and by anyone in the chat room or anyone you ever meet, and so am I, So, as Sam Vaknin said in his videos, so any interaction between people brings up some kind of emotions, even if you talk to your tax consultant. So there is an Andrew Weaver out there I saw on Google who is a tax consultant. I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, because I saw Andrew Weaver on Facebook, and you know what I'm talking about. I think that was you. And there's another guy, Billy, now on Facebook, and for some reason he has blocked the conversation or something. I don't know what it is, but I think that is your Facebook page as well. So I'm psychic, and I'm very good with facial recognition, and but I could be wrong, I don't know, but some very curious people suddenly are popping up as with friend requests. Many different very curious people are popping up, and none of them admits that they're from the chat room. So I think one of them is Gadwin, but he won't admit it. So, but it's all okay, So one of them might be WC, I don't know. I wish these people would be honest about who they are and where they met me. That would be so helpful, that would move things forward. That will make me want to talk to them, whether they probably feel bad about themselves, and that's what I want to talk to you about, because the starshine Zane said he hates himself. And when Mama Bear sees that, Dog Mom sees that, I want to give a hug, I've been through all of this myself. That's an old feeling from childhood that has nothing to do with the present. You are gorgeous, okay? You are a gorgeous stud, and you should believe that, And I think you're also Adam Foster, so I think you are him, and I think Adam Foster looks very good, So, and I don't care if a man is bald, That doesn't mean anything, So don't worry about it. And I don't care if a man is overweight, as long as he's not like morbidly obese. When a man gets over 250 pounds, that's where it gets bad. So, but on anything under 250 pounds, it's cool, it's cute, I like it, it's cuddly, and I'm definitely already at the threshold where 220, I'm maybe 230 now. I'm afraid to go on the scale, but it's still okay for me personally. Certainly not for Donatella Versace. So that would not be okay. But I don't care about that. But I love Donatella Versace. She's really cool, really amazing woman. So, yes, I love Donatella Versace too. Mwah, kisses for you. Ta 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 ta. That's my song for the Papa dog that I always sing. My Papa dog, a god, a dog, a god, a dog, a god. I miss the Papa dog infinitely much. and they are out there at the Orion Nebula. They're dancing together. He's dancing with a white bull terrier. I think she was white, right? I think most that's the standard color. I don't know. They also have tricolor, so I don't know. Yes, they are all cute. They look like they are stuffed animals, like this giraffe here. There's absolutely no ditch on the forehead at all. It just goes straight down like that. The bull terrier. Yeah, it's just like this. Just like this hand puppet giraffe. So, yes, yeah, I look a little bit like a bull terrier. So those are very cute dogs. But my favorite is absolute total star is the European Basset Hound, and no other dog can come close. We had Great Danes. I love them. Their legs are too long. They have trouble with balance. They have trouble going upstairs. My grandfather always had Great Danes. They had trouble going up the stairs, and they get arthritis. And it's so much suffering. I don't want to see that anymore happening. Okay, so I don't support that breed anymore, although they're absolutely gorgeous. But the European Basset Hound is like a caterpillar, and they have really, really thick, short legs and just the right length back. And they have a straight back, not like the ones from the Americanas. So the American Basset Hounds, they have the spinal cord is curved like this and hangs down, and that causes back problems. But the European Basset Hounds, they're like a tabletop, So, and they can go up and down the stairs very easily, and it's wonderful. I mean, they huff and puff a little bit, when they go up like this. The papa dog, yes, Yeah, that was nice. It was a nice time we had together, and not even 3 years, because we rescued him when he was already 8 years old. I miss him forever, and I miss Kenny forever. We had Kenny almost 9 years, like 8.5 years, something like that. We got him from puppy, and it was an amazing time. I had anxiety also. I knew I needed to do something with my life, like this therapy help center. So I had this anxiety in me. I knew that I needed to move something forward in my life, but I had the dogs, and they fulfilled my motherhood. So that made this anxiety less strong, and so having a baby ripped and torn away from a mother is the worst thing that can happen, and that's what they do to dairy cows, and it is an absolute nightmare. It's so painful, and people don't realize that, Helga Tackreuter in New Jersey rescues dairy cows, and that's so amazing what she told me. I talked to her, and it was a great honor that she picked me from all these fan emails because of my name, Nicola Redwood. She thought that kind of jumped at her, and we talked on Skype, and I told her that the Humane Farming Association is no good, and she said, "Thank you for telling me this," because she was almost going to donate money to them. I said, well, I'm so glad I warned you that they are pro-profit only and not for anything humane, whatever that means, That's supposed to mean ethical. But I don't even use that word humane because that comes from the word human, and most humans are not humane. So it's like, a contradiction in itself. So Hagar Tagwriter, that was a long time ago, talked me out of buying milk. I was still buying milk for my pear coffee. That's a barley malt, caffeine-free, natural herbal coffee, and I like to have milk in it. Tasted so good, but she talked me out of it. She said, no, it's unethical. You can't support that anymore as an animal rights activist, as someone who's compassionate. And she told me all about it, and I said, okay, I can't do that anymore. I can't buy that anymore. And I didn't. I did not buy milk anymore after that. And that's when I think a lot of people quit drinking milk and buying milk, and that's when the milk prices came way down. So very interesting to observe. But so I highly recommend to people to have a heart and become whole food vegan mainly, and with chicken and turkey as an exception. So that's what I do, and that's what I recommend for everyone to do. The world would become so much better. Everything could heal, the environment too, the animals could be freed from suffering. That would be so much better. I am just rambling now about different things, but I want to come back to psychology, and I want to give you a hug for feeling like you hate yourself. And that's a very, very, very primal statement to make, okay? And I wanted to tell you that I find that courageous, even though you say it under your sock account channel. But, and most people don't know that you tricked Scott Covey with that, Scott Covey, he's falling for you now, like hook, line, and sinker. Nicola, I know why you are jealous. No wonder, with that hot ginger there. He doesn't know that is Zane's ex. Maybe we should matchmake them. That would be a good idea. I think they would make a very great ginger couple. So, yes, I'm also ginger, and the papa dog was ginger too. Yes, the papa dog was a ginger with freckles, and that was so sexy. So, but anyway, last night, okay, my brain is all over the place now. Last night I felt abused by this conversation because I always feel like I'm naked with blindfolds on, and some guy comes up and touches me, and I don't know who that is, and I can't see, who are you? I'm tapping in the dark. Who's touching me there inappropriately? That feels like abuse, and well, you did the most, and some other guys did as well, and they talked right over me. They didn't include me into the conversation, but that's out of there because they were all in sock account mode, and I don't blame them for that. I'm not saying that they owe me a conversation or something. Pat was the only one who included me into a conversation that was also about other things, about talking about dating, talking about psychology, and not, he wasn't in the sock account modus operandi in the brain, as you were. And then you draw me into this as well. But, what can I do? I can't. I'm just completely surrendered to that energy. I don't know what else to do. It is wrong, okay? But it is what it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's hardcore. Oh my gosh. The feelings. It's really intense. Really intense. It is for women. It is much more intense. Much more with meaning and all of this, than it is for men. For men, it's like some kind of, women are like a masturbation tool, and then they move on. That is what it is, come on, that is the truth, okay? And so that leaves us women pretty stranded emotionally, often, very often, and we talk about this also. You better believe it. We talk to each other about this. And we always come to the conclusion that men aren't any good. That men are super immature. Yes, and that is a fact, okay? But, I'm not holding a grudge or anything. I understand this now, there's biology that goes into this, and we just have to figure out a way how to make this work and how to live with this and how to communicate with each other. And the most important thing in all of this is that, whether you want anything to do with me or not, I'm making these videos anyway, because I'm making it for you and everyone, because this is very important stuff to talk about. I'm making this for myself, as I said many times before, this is very important for me to talk about. So this is my therapy. You're helping me with this indirectly, in a roundabout way. So I think the most important thing in this is in any kind of communication, whether this is a video for the public or an interaction between people in writing or in talking. What's the most important denominator? What is it? I want you to answer that right now to yourself. What is it? It's honesty. Okay. We have to be honest. But this is very difficult when people are afraid and when they are hiding behind their personas. Okay. And most people do it. Most men, the vast majority of men do it. Women do it too, but not to that high percentage. Women are much more honest about this. And that has to do with the particular social drilling of society, the role attribution and all of this. People think we are past all of that patriarchic role attribution. No, we are not. Certainly not. And even in the academic circles, this hasn't been worked through because people haven't really dealt with it. So I see this in the academic circles, and those, they make me particularly mad because they think they are all progressive and intellectual, and they think they got this all worked out, with female versus male interaction. but they haven't, because they haven't worked on their own emotional stuff. So, and then the spiritual people, that's a red flag for me. That's the absolute, that's the epitome of lies and total self-deception. I mean, those people are running away from their emotional pain really fast. So the people that are coming more from religious or from not very high educated backgrounds, and I'm not judging it at all, okay, there's no judgment in this, they are actually closer to the truth. So they're one step closer to it. They're one step less convoluted in the fabrication of self-images and self-lies. Those are the worst lies, is when people lie to themselves. But I'm not judging people, because looking at it from the sky perspective, I can clearly see that people are very unconscious about all of these things. It's just they don't know. They don't even know intellectually. They haven't studied this at all. They have not watched Sam Wagnan's videos or my videos or Teal Swan's videos. They haven't gotten into it, into the inwardness meditation process, what this is all about, to introspect and to sit there quietly for a while, and even if tension builds up, let it build up. And that's why Pema Chodron, she's a Buddhist nun in Nova Scotia, Canada. She has a monastery there, and people go there for healing and for meditation. And what she says is absolutely revolutionary. She said that, and of course she learned that from Gautama Buddha. She learned that from the Eightfold Path and the Noble Truths and the Satipatthana Sutta and all of these teachings, that in meditation we actually have to lean into the fear. And that sounds like an oxymoron. It sounds like a contradiction. It appears like a contradiction to us, but it's not. Okay, I have to lean into whatever there is. If it's anxiety, Adyashanti is the teacher, he's very good too. He said people are trying feverishly to avoid resistance, but he says, but that's another resistance. By avoiding resistance, that's how the spiritual people are so easily convoluted into unimaginable convoluted heights of more and more and more misunderstandings of things. And they need to come back to the ground, to the earth. They have completely run off, and that's what the ego always does. The ego runs off with anything, anything. So we have to come back to the earth. We have to get grounded, literally. I got grounded earlier today on the grass for a long time, for like an hour or something in the sun. Feel the earth, and we have to get grounded metaphorically, psychologically. We have to get grounded. We gotta unravel this entire conundrum and chaos of yarn, and bring it back to the earth, and bring it back to understanding what is going on, what is truth, what's actually happening, and what is the fabrication of lies. So it's like one big convoluted yarn chaos, so, and yet we have to unravel this one piece at one bit, like 1 foot at the time, unravel this yarn, and then see what is going on, where's that yarn, where's that red thread going through your life, where did it get trapped, where did this get convoluted, where did it get caught, and what catches it, where is the trap in it, we have to dive. Annalise, my child therapist, she always used to say we have to dive into the river and undo that tethering to our foot that is tethered to the river ground, and we have to undo that knot and come back to the surface. And so that's what the introspection process is all about. So I think that when you said that you hate yourself, that was absolutely, that was already a mile forward for you to say that, and that is a step in the right direction. It is so sad, but I already knew that this is underneath that the Ice King facade, and the dictator, the psycho dictator who wants to control, that's underneath that is you hate yourself, okay, and you don't know how to deal with it, and it's coming up into consciousness now, and that's wonderful. It is wonderful, 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 wonderful. Kisses for you, hugs and kisses. So it's a step in the right direction for sure. And so in order, we can't just say I love myself and then I'm get good to go. That it doesn't work that way. Obviously the Tony Robbins approach is very lopsided in that way, where people say, oh, I'm just gonna do NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and I just reprogram my neuronal connections. No, it doesn't work that way. Even Tony Robbins still has that foot caught at the bottom of the river. I see that, so even he has. So I wished I could tell him that, because his tapes have helped me tremendously. His approach is absolutely vital and precious. But it is lopsided. It is lopsided just as primal therapy is lopsided. But if we take both of these approaches and combine them, and some people think they can't be combined, they're like contradictions. No, they're not contradictions at all. They're supplemental for each other. We need both. We need to also write self-affirmations when we can, and sometimes it feels fake because of that feeling of self-hate. You're not the only one, okay? The entire human species has that underneath, okay? Almost everyone. The people who genuinely love themselves, there may be 10 people in the whole world, okay? Bindi Irwin and her brother Robert, and the mother and the father. So those are part of these very, very rare people who do not have childhood trauma, okay, who grew up with infinite love and animals and wholesomeness, okay. So, and I think that's really awesome that you also told me that half of your life has been absolute horror, and you have also told me that under the sane account as well a while back. And these things, I don't forget these things, these statements. There are so many statements, there are so many things that you have said and other people have said, and then that there's so much, and I can't remember all of this, but there are some things that I do remember, particularly the ones that have to do with your emotional state, because that's my area. I'm a hobby psychologist, so, and I put all of these things together now into understanding men and understanding humans in general, understanding myself, so it's very, very difficult for men and women to come together when they're very different, their brains are very different, to come together and meet on a very honest basis. The Salsa bait community, as I call the incel community, because incel is not really the right word. Okay, they're not involuntarily celibate. They're self-sabotaged celibates. That's what's going on. They do it to themselves, then they whine and complain at the Rollo Tomasi chat room. They all whine and complain that they don't have a girlfriend, and then I come in there and they get real mad at me, and they say, and then they want to make fun of me, and they say, can you imagine, saying to each other, can you imagine being with a 40-year-old? Wow, that's like some kind of like they're gonna be a loser if they're gonna be with a 40. But one guy said he's 60 and he would like to be with a 40-year-old woman. That shut the hater up. So that was very cool. But, they hate, they despise, they bully women, and then they complain and cry to each other that they can't find a girlfriend. It's self-sabotaged, It's all of this is self-sabotage. Of course they could find any nice girl, but I guess they probably have way too high standards or something. The Hollywood standards, prestige standards. Again, prestige comes into it. Prestige is not necessarily congruent with what they physically actually crave. So that's a real biggie in society, that I am paying attention to. I don't want to make the video too long. So, but honesty, that's like if we can just pull it off, as good as possible, the better we will be off. The better the world will become in general, if we can dissolve the pride and the shame, See, pride is built upon shame. Both of it is wrong. In Sanskrit, in the ancient Indian religions, they already know that. They condemn shame. They condemn pride. Satya Sai Baba always talked about this, how bad pride is. And, we can't just say, oh, it's bad, you gotta suppress it. That doesn't work that way. We have to actually dive into it and see what this pride is all about. So look at the pride. Let's look at it. Let's not condemn it. Let's not hate ourselves for that. It's there. It came into action as a defense mechanism. That's what the ego does. Let's not get all upset about ourselves for that. We are where we are in our healing process. And for you to get to that point and say half of your life was hell, and that you hate yourself, that is a major, major, major step forward in your healing journey, okay? And so when you go into the inwardness meditation process, you can look at that without judgment. And as Adyashanti said, don't resist the resistance. If the resistance comes up, then look at the resistance also. Lean into the resistance, lean into the fear, lean into even the hatred that comes up, even if hatred against me comes up, which probably will come up, because I'm bringing all of these things into your consciousness, and your ego doesn't want that. So, and you also don't want a woman to tell you something like this, it's like, who are you, to psychoanalyze me? Yes, I do. You cheeky thing, you. So, and I'm older. I have more wisdom and knowledge, okay? I have learned a lot in my life. So you should listen to big Old Dogma, okay? It will help you. This is very important to go into all of this. Very, very important. Do this for yourself, okay? And you are where you are right now. I'm talking to Starshine. I'm okay with it. Even though last night I felt abused by this whole thing, and I felt I was kind of upset at myself for playing along with this. But I have an extreme hormonal needs, and you trigger those, and I want to share that with you. And if that's the only way I can share that with you, then that's what I'm gonna do. So the pride has to be dissolved, but it can't be dissolved overnight. There's pain underneath that pride. There is that feeling of self-hate underneath. And so we have to use all approaches. We have to use meditation, we have to use Tony Robbins, we have to use Dr. Arthur Janov, we have to use all of these amazing people. And we have to write self-affirmations. Teal Swan talked about this in her books, how she hated herself. She cut herself. She was a cutter. And she was very lucky. She found her Prince Charming at a very early age already, at age 20. My goodness, what a present that is, to find Prince Charming at age 20. And they had quite a journey together. She broke up with him. She had to venture out, to explore, for her own. That was all part of her healing journey. But she came back to him, because when the guy is right, the woman will come back. I came back to Paul, but only because he's compassionate, and to find really, really compassionate people, that's very rare, So when we find someone, we better hang on to that person, whether it is a romantic relationship or not, We can hang on to that person as a sugar daddy too, So, which is the case in my case. So I'm not very good with financial stuff. So that makes me, unfortunately, dependent on someone else. And I am infinitely grateful to Paul that he's there for me in this way, and that he is my daddy in that way. And I got daddy issues, okay? My dad was almost never there. My dad has massive issues, okay? That will never be worked on ever, and they're really old, and that's all okay, I wish them the very best. But talking to them, that's pretty hardcore. So I quit talking to them. But, I'm working on myself, so maybe eventually, I hope that before they die, that I get the chance to talk to them again. To to express my love for them, because I really love them. I really care about them. And I know that the mistakes they made with me, they were terrible mistakes, horrific. But they didn't know better. So we have to bring all of these approaches in. We have to, Thich Nhat has helped me a whole lot. The books by Thich Nhat, I read all of his books. Fantastic. He's a Buddhist monk in France. Fantastic, from Vietnam. And his books are absolute. They're monumental. Everyone should read his books. If everyone would read his books, we wouldn't have any more wars. So all the wars would dissolve worldwide. He's a major peace activist, always has been, has already been doing peace walks in front of the White House during the Vietnam War. An amazing man. And he pointed out the rallying peace activists, in quotation marks, that were walking really fast and angry in front of the Buddhist group. And he was pointing out that they were really contradicting themselves by being angry peace activists. So that's where we have to pay attention to, So peace comes with peace. And peace doesn't come with anger or with forcing someone, or, with, even if I'm an activist for the animals or for peace, I can't do this with any kind of angry agenda. So I can only do this with infinite love and infinite patience. That's the only way I can bring across welfare for animals, compassion for animals, peace and love for the whole world. That's the only way to do it, in a peaceful way, and not like the Wonder Woman from Hollywood. No, that's just another cliche. I had to look that up. That's just another cliche of sexy, man's fantasy of another warrior, basically. That's why I don't call myself a warrior, because a warrior is, again, someone who goes into a battlefield. I would never go into a battlefield. So, but I don't shy away from going into heated debates. So that I will do, because the truth needs to be told. I think this is absolutely important, that the truth has to get out there, and when we have knowledge like this, and when we have worked on ourselves, then we have an obligation to share that with the world. I think this is very important. So you already made a step forward, and I think that's great, and that's courageous of you, okay? And you don't have to hate yourself at all. You are gorgeous, and you are sensitive. You are extremely intelligent. That turns me on so much, You are massively intelligent. But you funnel that IQ into all the wrong things, into sideways actions and thoughts, into fights, into self-image protection, into personas, the most intricate persona role play interactions, and a lot of amazing memory has to go into this. It's like when someone tells a lie, they have to have good memory to make that lie last for a very long time, right? So the same with the personas, they each have a story. It's like that's an ability, you know. A lot of IQ goes into this, you know. I pay close attention to that. I already made the clay figure video, the first clay figure video that I made a couple of months ago. I don't know, like 4 months ago or something, or 5 months ago. So I already talked about you in that Andrew Weaver the first, you know. So, and I made another one for Nikki Loves Dogs just the other day. So a real cute one. So, and I'm telling the truth in those clay figure theaters. Okay, so that's the garlic of truth. Yes, it's the garlic of truth, and it tastes good, but it burns on wounds, you know. The ego doesn't like it. The ego doesn't like the garlic of truth. So it burns way too much, but it's a good burning. It's a real good burning, you know. It's good. And even that statement that you hate yourself is a good, that's the burning that comes up. Okay, that's underneath the pride. That's underneath all those act outs. Is that I don't want to make the video too long. I hope this doesn't. I hope the hacker does not scramble up the video now. So, but this is very important. It comes up, okay, and then feel it. Look into this. Where does it come from? Where does that hate towards yourself come from? It comes from childhood, okay? Get into it. You can talk to me anytime. I'm always here for you. You can talk to me. I know you're afraid, okay? But this is important. But at least I am here, okay? I'll always be here for you as long as I'm alive. I will always be here for you, and you have me to lean on, and you have me as your best friend and best buddy and therapist and dog mom, and you can cry on my shoulder, and you can talk to me about these things. And if something comes up that is troubling, that you don't know how to deal with, talk to me about it. The best would be if you make me videos, or if we talk on video chat would be awesome. But I know you're afraid, but that's okay, you know. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. That's what matters, okay? And for you to watch my videos is already super, and it's gonna help. I know it's gonna help you, and any kind of conversation with me, wherever that is, in the chat room, or with some kind of alter personality, it is good. It's gonna help you, okay? Because I know a lot about these kind of things, and I've been through this myself, okay? So, and we need to use Tony Robbins too. We need to do self-affirmations. Teal Swan talks about it, how difficult that was for her to do that self-love affirmation. I wrote a self-love affirmation that I put under my water container. That's something we can do, for example. That is one first step already. Write something loving to yourself. Or you want me to write something loving to you? You can print that out and you put that under your water container. Believe it or not, that has energy. There's energy in it that goes into the water. When you drink that water, that's healing. It's true. I'm not making this up. So Dr. Masaru Emoto wrote about that. He's a scientist from Japan. He writes about how water holds information, actually. How words contain energy. It's all true. Okay, so I don't want to make the video too long. So take care. Kiss and hug. Bye bye. I love you.